Afrobeats is in shambles. We need to
Oh,
save it.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you want to elaborate on
I
that?
feel like we're just in a conflicted era. Everyone is just confused. Like the whole scene. We need like, I don't know, we need like a kumbaya party. We need something.
Rejuvenation a little
Yeah.
bit. Honestly, because it's May. We
Like,
don't have a
We
song.
don't have a summer anthem.
Yeah, that's facts. That's
People
facts.
are like, they don't make Afrobeat, they make Afrofusion,
That's
they make
facts.
Afro rock, emo. Like, bro,
Facts. Actually, I understand that.
you know, I'm happy that I get to tour. Like, one of my dreams has always been to be a touring artist. I love being on stage. It's really something that gives me a lot of joy. I am really tired though.
I feel you.
I'm like exhausted, like mentally fatigued and physically fatigued as well because it is really hectic. And you know, I'm an independent artist, so it's a lot of like making shit happen by
Yes.
yourself all the time. So that is really hectic. But I'm really glad that people like the album, people are listening to it.
Yes.
And for me, making an album doesn't mean like I drop it today then tomorrow I have to drop something else. I kind of want people to get a chance to like soak it in. I want new audiences to get a chance to listen as well, you know. So I'm like taking my time to really like spread across this era for as long as possible.
Hi, my name is Elsie, and this is Afrobeats Central.
What's up, people? My name is Lady Donli, and right now you're here with Afrobeat Central.
All right, thanks for doing this with me today. And welcome to Toronto.
Thank you.
How's the city treating you?
I mean, Toronto is like my third home. Like I'm here all the time.
Oh, okay.
So like even lesser now, but like before, like past 3 years, I'd be here like weeks, months at a time.
Okay, nice. So you're pretty much used to the entire atmosphere.
For sure.
Okay, so just getting right into it, your album, Pan African Rockstar, dropped last year. And listening to Pan African Rockstar, I could hear so many influences on there. So like, I just wanted to ask, like, music-wise, I could tell that you're someone that's like a student of the music. Who are some of your biggest influences?
The answer to that changes like every couple of years. But when I was working on Pan African Rockstar specifically, some of the artists and the albums I really was getting into was like Kelly's Santi Gold.
I like Kelly.
Because of the diversity in the way they presented the music, you know. And I always felt like, I want to sing, I want to rap, I want to, you know, mumble. I want to be able to do all those. Exactly, you know. And those albums, like Tasty for sure, is like one of those albums that really gives that, you know, a fantastic album.
I love that album.
Fantastic, you know.
Yeah.
So like that definitely influenced like how I wanted to be, like how I wanted to approach Pan African Rockstar. But like on the African side, obviously, you know, like Fela, OG, Miriam Makeba, Angelique Kidjo.
That's such a wide range.
You know, it's like it's so crazy because even like when I was making my first album, like Enjoy Your Life, one of the things I said to myself was I wanted to show people that there's a different approach you could take to African music. I love Afrobeats, I love Afropop, I love all the Afros, whatever they're calling it these days. I love all of those things, but you know, growing up, I was growing up listening to Brenda Fassie, Awilo, Lagbaja, and you know, Style Plus, and there was so much range in Nigerian music.
So much range.
And I really wanted to explore that. And every time I drop an album, I really want to give an exploration that African music, Nigerian music can take so many forms.
Yeah. And I think it's very interesting that you mentioned that. I feel like nowadays a lot of people like to classify music in genres. If someone came to you and asked you to describe Lady Donli's music to someone who's never heard of Lady Donli's music, like how would you describe that?
I just call it like African funk. I hate to say that because everyone is putting Afro behind everything, but one of the things I like to say about my music is that it's widely diverse, but it's African.
It's African.
You know,
at its core.
Exactly. At its core, it's indigenous to like Africa, and it's not necessarily like Nigerian in that way because I just think about like Africa, especially like Western Africa, as a ground for like everything I'm doing. It can be like Ghanaian high life influences, it can be Nigerian Fuji influences. I can go to South Africa, have some influences from them, but it's just like at the roots, it's like African music.
I feel like African funk is a nice way to describe
you know, that's what I'm trying to get into.
I'll go with that as well. Yeah, I actually like the fact that you still embrace that African like essence, because I feel like nowadays we're having a lot of denial of you know, that African essence and sound. So I think it's really, really cool that you totally embrace that. One thing I'd like to know is, what does your creative process look like when you're creating music? Is it solitary? Do you work with a group of people? Is it collaborative? How does that look?
So I am one of those artists that writes before production happens.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So most of my songs, I kind of like have melodies in my head. Like a good example is like Comme Si Comme Ça.
I like that one.
I hummed the whole song and then I took it to my band. So I already had all the parts for what I wanted.
That's crazy. That's like Michael Jackson. That's what he used to do.
That's like the best. Like for me, like I always get melodies in my head all the time. So I just like hum all the parts and then I take it to my band. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want you to play this, and I want you to play this. And that's kind of the best way for me to work.
Wow.
But Pan African Rockstar, I kind of worked a bit different. So one of the producers, the major producer on it, his name is JMS. He's actually based in Toronto. So I was here a lot, like working on the album.
Nice.
And I would go over to his and we would kind of like start a beat together without melodies per se. So I kind of worked in reverse of how I usually work because I wanted to expand my writing skill sets.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. That's really, really cool. Wow. That actually made me, I had to stop and take in that answer because I think it's really, really cool that you could, work backwards. I feel like that's a testament to your creativity in that aspect. And that's bringing me to my next question. I've been paying attention to your music for years, like Kona, far back. And I feel like when it comes to, the alternative Afro scene, you're one of the people that have put in a lot of work to define that sound. One question I want to ask you is, do you ever feel underrated based on your contribution on what you've done? Because I feel like I rate you so highly.
I'm definitely underrated.
Yeah.
And it's beyond a feeling, it's a fact. Because I know how many things I've contributed to the Nigerian alternative music scene, how many people I've put on, and just how much work I've put in. I've worked a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess it's natural to be overrated for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm a woman. And like that is definitely. Whether or not like that we address that elephant in the room, like that is definitely a thing that plays a part into that. Is that I'm a woman, And also I didn't grow up in Lagos. I grew up in Abuja. So I came from Abuja, went to Lagos, and I started hustling. So that on its own also plays a part.
Plays a part, yeah.
And then there's independence. I'm also super outspoken.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like that.
There's so many layers to these things. So like I know that I am definitely underrated. I feel it, but it's just like whatever at this point.
I feel you in that aspect. And you mentioning being an independent artist, I see that's something you talk about a lot, especially like on Twitter and everything. I have two questions to ask you. What do you think has been, as an underrated artist, the most difficult thing you've had to deal with as an independent artist, rather?
The most difficult thing, it's just like scraping to get by. It's like everything I get goes back into music. I've never had a moment like in the past 4 or 5 years where I was just like, let me just vacation. I'm just like, okay, money, music. It's just like, it's a cycle of beautiful pain.
Oh, well, that's a very poetic way to put it, actually.
We love music, so it's beautiful, but it's also like really exhausting. So yeah, that for sure. But it's nice to have control in a way that I can just wake up and drop a song tomorrow. Yeah,
that's actually, I wanted to lead into my next question. Like, what do you think has been the most rewarding thing about being an independent artist?
Just having as much control as possible, just like, can do whatever I want, whenever I want. That's nice. But it's also exhausting. I'm like reaching my peak of exhaustion.
Hopefully we still get music.
No, it's coming.
Some of us we're still enjoying Pan African Rockstar, but I wouldn't mind if we get something else.
Yeah, it's always music. I'm like about to maybe end my solo era.
You have your band though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I'm about to end my solo era as just like Lady Donli. We have a lot of Lagos Panic music. Exactly. So we're just kind of like pushing into that era.
Okay, that's cool. We'll watch out for that.
Yeah.
So my next question is that if you were stuck on an island and you could only bring 3 albums with you, excluding your albums, which ones would you go with?
That is such a crazy question. But I'll bring out my phone.
Yeah.
So I can be 100% sure. about what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take Could We Be More by Kokoroko,
Okay.
because like I need an album to unwind to.
Okay.
Like,
Fair.
just like I'm just like having a really hard day, and like the album does
Just
what I needed to
does it.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. This is a difficult one. I need to take like an African album, but like which album
so
do
many.
I want to take? Oh my God. I would take a Fela album, but like Fela, these albums are not
So
really
many.
like,
Yeah, they're
like,
kind of like compilations.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's just call it. I would take a Fela compilation.
Okay.
I'll just call that. Let's just call it Fela
That's
compilation.
fair. That's fair.
And then, I can't take my album. I would take something by Odunsi.
Ooh, Rare.
Yeah, I think I'd
Rare
probably
is
take
that. That's a
Rare. If he
classic.
had dropped his next album, I'd probably have taken that. I'm an Odunsi star.
I'm assuming you've heard it.
It's
I'm
questionable to know what you've heard or not heard by Odunsi.
I'm excited. I'm excited
Yeah,
for that.
but like, yeah,
Rare is a
take Rare,
classic.
for
I
sure.
feel those are three picks. They really, I would have expected that.
For
Really,
sure.
They kind of
I'm
show
sure I'm
your
missing
taste.
something. I feel bad. I feel like I'm missing like somebody, but like 3 for now. That's what I'll take.
For now. This is 2024. I'm pretty sure you've been making music for over a decade now. What do you think has been your favorite point in your career, like up until the present?
My favorite point in my career was 2019. 2019, after I dropped my first album, Enjoy Your Life, because I was really enjoying my life. And also at that point, I really had no expectations.
I see.
Like life was so much easier because I had dropped Cash. I wasn't in the country. I was in London. I dropped Cash. Up until then, like I hadn't really had like mainstream success, so to speak. So I wasn't really expecting anything. And I went back to Lagos, and like the energy around me was so different, and it was just really a fun time. And everything then was exciting. Like when I got 100,000 plays on Cash, I still have the
Amazing.
screenshots on my phone, because
It
I was so
felt
excited.
so like wow.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like, in a month we have 100,000. I couldn't believe it,
Wow.
But now it's like,
That's what always happens.
yeah,
It's
harder.
The more you achieve, the higher expectations become.
Exactly.
I guess it's a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the goal of every artist, every good artist, is to make people feel something with your music. What do you want your listeners to feel when they listen, to Lady Donli?
I think the older I get, most of the songs I make are really affirmation anthems. Like Pan African Rockstar, for me, the theme of that album is really confidence. Because I was making that album and finding confidence in myself. And so these days, when I make music, I really want people to tap into that innermost like confidence, just like kicking away imposter syndrome and being like, like I'm the number one motherfucker.
I have to say that My Ability was my anthem.
Thank you.
Like throughout last year, like I played that song back to back because it's just so affirming, especially as a woman, an African woman. It's amazing. So
Thank you.
I definitely feel that when I listen to your music. So
That's the
mission
energy.
accomplished.
Thank you.
Mission
I'm glad.
accomplished for that. Yeah. The Nigerian music scene and global music scene just has so much talent bursting. What is a dream collaboration for you? If you could, it could be more than one person, but if
In
you
Nigeria?
could collab, no, just generally.
In general,
but
Little
yeah.
Sims.
Oh, I love her.
I love Little Sims.
I love Little
She's
Sims,
like
yeah.
my goat.
She's fire.
Who else do I really want to work with? I would love to work with Kokoroko. I love Kokoroko so much. Yusuf Days. That would be wonderful. I'd love to work with Shady Vibes.
What would the Donli / Shady Vibes that could sound like?
It would be crazy.
Wow.
Shady Vibes, call me. If you're watching this, call me. I have plans.
I actually think that would be fire.
Yeah.
I think that would be fire for sure. Yeah. What's one hot take you have musically right now? Off the top of your head.
Afrobeats is in shambles. We need to save it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you want to elaborate on that?
I feel like we're just in a conflicted era. Everyone is just confused. Like the whole scene. We
Kinda,
need like I don't know. We
kinda.
need like a kumbaya party. We need something.
Rejuvenation a little
Yeah.
bit. Honestly, because it's May. We
Like,
don't have a song.
We don't have a summer anthem.
Yeah, that's facts. That's
People
facts.
are like, they don't make Afrobeat, they make Afrofusion,
That's
they make
facts.
Afro rock emo. Like, bro, like we need to all have
Wait,
like
little confused right now.
yeah, like we need, we need some unity. You guys are
Yeah.
fighting. Like, come on, like, you know.
That's actual facts. Actually, I have
need
to
some
agree
love.
with
We
that.
need love.
I don't even feel like that take is so hot anymore.
Like somebody's mommy needs to cook food and bring everyone to their house. Like, yo, let's talk. Like, we need some unity.
Facts. Actually, I understand that for real because I don't know where the scene is headed, but something has to happen and
Yeah,
has
for
to happen quickly.
I'm bored, I think, because as I said, like we grew up in this era where we had like a Style Plus existing, and we also had like a Lagbaja existing, and we had like a phase like who was doing like crazy things, like
stuff,
Mental video coming out, Then we had the rappers, we had like LD, we had so much.
Variety.
The range was so crazy. Like people were
Variety.
singing their hearts out, like dancing. You had P Square like doing choreo, like it was crazy. And now it's just like, just doesn't feel as like, inspirational.
What do you think is the reason for that, really?
Music has become too accessible.
Streaming.
Creating music.
I see.
Anybody can. You don't
Just
have to
enter
hustle. Do you understand? Just go
Get
somewhere.
your laptop.
Before you enter studio or more,
You had to
plan your life.
That's true.
And you
That's
have you
true.
have one shot. It feels like damn. I have one shot to get
So
this
the
CD
hunger,
right.
the hunger was there when
for
you
sure.
knew you were creating. It was so intentional.
For sure. No,
But I feel
100%.
like now, lots of people are
guys
just
wanted
entering
to dance. They wanted to do choreo. They wanted to.
inspire.
Nobody's performing. Guys are not even performing.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
it's just like,
Yeah, and that's one thing I actually wanted to say. I feel that sets you apart is that performance aspect. When I go to a show, I want to be able to know that I got the value for my money when I go to perform. So I have to give you your props for that right here. I feel like you always put on a crazy performance, and that's amazing, especially as a woman there. So
Thank you.